you own your own business, you're definitely going to want to listen to this one. Hey, it's Josh McEwen here with episode 21 of Dufferin Spotlight on Business, where we bring your community to you by letting you know what's available in the area while highlighting the advantages of shopping local. And this week I'm joined by Sarah Clark, the founder of Dufferin Media, which is a group of professionals who specialize in social media management, internet marketing, and website creation and management. Through Dufferin Media, Sarah and her team work with businesses to establish and grow their online presence in order to generate sales and brand awareness, something that is extremely important at a time when everyone is competing for your customers' attention, especially when they're on the web. While many do manage their own online presence, the number of those who do it effectively are greatly outnumbered by those who make costly errors. I've personally seen these mistakes get made, which can require significant time and money to correct, and it's frustrating to say the least. We're lucky though, because we have Dufferin Media with this locally based team of experts to help navigate through all of it, so that you can spend your time doing what you do best. This would be a great time to announce that Dufferin Spotlight and Dufferin Media have formed a strategic alliance together. They are going to be helping us make our online strategy more effective, in addition to helping us with our public relations. This is something that we are definitely grateful for, and we're excited for the next steps, and for everything that this will bring. So if you would like to learn more about Dufferin Media, and how they can help you with your business's online strategy, check out dufferinmedia.com, or reach out to them through their Facebook page. Big thanks to Sarah for her time, and for making this show possible. And thank you, the audience, for listening. And I hope you enjoy this episode of Dufferin Spotlight on Business. This is Josh McEwen here with Dufferin Spotlight on Business, and today I am joined by Sarah Clark of Dufferin Media. And how are you doing today, Sarah? And thank you so much for joining us.
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh no, thank you for joining us, and I'm really appreciative of your time because I think we're going to learn quite a bit today. So if you don't mind, can you just give us a little bit of a background of yourself in the business?
Sure. My name is Sarah Clark, and I am a media strategist and the founder of Dufferin Media. Dufferin Media was founded in 2012. My brother and I recognized a need in the business community for a solution that would create and manage social media accounts for businesses, and we decided to offer that as a service.
That's good. Like, my parents ran a family business, and I know how sometimes it's a struggle for them to manage their social media presence, and they don't necessarily know the best way to go about it. They've tried some different services, but I mean, I know it's just something after a while for certain people, it's something they deprioritize, but for new businesses, especially, and for many old businesses as well, it's crucial to have a social media presence. I mean, Dufferin Spotlight wouldn't exist if social media didn't exist. So I mean, it is important because I mean, that's where everybody is. And I mean, especially Facebook, everyone's going to Instagram these days. And I mean, Twitter's just becoming also a presence with certain crowds as well. People there are hyper involved. So, I mean, this isn't something I know a ton about because, I mean, obviously, if people look at our pages, our social media presence isn't really robust right now. We have our shows on there, but that's pretty much it. But that's great. So I'm so glad we had the opportunity to speak with you.
Absolutely, Josh. So most business owners recognize that they need to be on social media and that their business needs to be on social media, but they either don't have the time or the knowledge to manage all of the content that needs to be pushed out and manage all of the interactions that are happening on their social media. So we offer a service that helps maximize their presence on social media with very little time required from the business owner.
That's great because, I mean, I know how much time some of these new people must be spending managing their presence. I mean, I see people that are constantly like hawks on buy and sell groups. I mean, that's got to be a big portion of their time that they're spending on social media, like trying to look for new business and, again, responding to the feedback because, I mean, those groups are pretty active.
I agree. And I think that using social media, the time management needs to be done strategically.
Yeah.
Because if you're just posting as much stuff as you can on groups or wherever, and you don't have a strategy behind it, you probably are actually wasting your time where you could be doing it strategically and making sure that you're connecting with the right people that are your ideal clients instead of just putting it up on a board where nobody might see it or those aren't relevant people.
Well, I can think of an example. I mean, I'm not going to go because I honestly don't remember what the business was, but I mean, I've seen contests be posted that are pretty good contests with some pretty decent prizes, and they don't get any traction because they're not posted in the right spots.
Very good point.
You're 100% right. You need to have a strategy behind it because, I mean, you're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks at certain points with some people. And that, like you said, that's not great. You're wasting your time at a certain point. It's not beneficial.
Yes. So we always try and make sure that we clearly understand what the goals are for each business because they're going to be different for each business owner. We make sure that we understand their target audience and their ideal client so that we can come up with a strategy that will have the most effect on their social media efforts and investments.
Makes sense. Because, I mean, we all know small businesses, they don't have the time, and also they don't have huge budgets for things like this. So, I mean, they have to use them strategically and efficiently. And anyone that knows a small business knows, like, you need to make do with what you have. So it's great that there is a service out there that can actually help them with these things. Because Facebook, as much as I may not like it, it's a big part of this town.
Absolutely. And budget is very important to us. We've always tried to maintain a healthy balance between what our time investment is as a business, but also keeping in mind what a business owner can afford as a social media marketing budget.
Yeah.
So we try and keep our services as budget friendly as possible.
That's awesome, because, I mean, that's extremely important. But like you said, you still want to be effective, right? Like, that's the great part. So, why spend it if it's not going to be effective?
Exactly. So now we have different packages where we can offer a very budget friendly package for somebody that's like a mom and pop small business. They only have a small budget, or we can work with larger or medium company that needs that extra time from us in terms of strategy, analytics, and planning. So there's different solutions for all different sizes now.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, for certain businesses, they don't need the analytics backend.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter to them. The only thing that really matters to them is what translates to sales and the strategies behind that. They don't need to get into the nitty gritty, all that stuff for a lot of them.
Absolutely. And I want to help all of my clients grow their business and earn more revenue. I think that's probably the number one goal for most people that come across my desk, unless they're a nonprofit organization. But even then, a lot of times their goals are, in fact, to do fundraising and earn donations. So, money, it really is the driving force behind a lot of efforts on social media.
I think this would be a good point. But I know you guys do a lot of work with the community, and you yourself personally as well. Like, would you like to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yes, the giving back is crucial to me. It's very important that I include that in my life and in my business. So when I was growing up in Orangeville, I'm sort of born and raised, and fourth generation. My father was born and raised here, etc.
That's awesome.
So we went through some hard times, and my family needed assistance, and the Orangeville Food Bank was there.
So lucky to have it.
So we are so lucky to have it. So when I was able to, I offered to volunteer my services for the Orangeville Food Bank to help them with their social media. And from that, it's just sort of evolved to not only do I work on their social media, but I also help them with events and fundraising, and I volunteer there every Tuesday to do client intake. So it's a really important part of my life. I get a lot of rewards that I don't think I can even put them into words, how fulfilled I am just by being able to give back in that capacity, and how much I've learned from being there too. It's been an incredible journey.
When you know how helpful these services are, like, you understand why your time is so valued at a place like that and the benefits you get from that. Because some people have become very jaded. But, I mean, once you start doing these things and you see the people you're helping, the benefits come to you tenfold.
Absolutely. And I often get helped myself from messages that I hear from the clients. So these are people that are struggling, and they're here at the Orangeville Food Bank to get assistance with food. But sometimes during that conversation, they say something that I really needed to hear that day. And that happened to me yesterday. I can't stop thinking about it. It was just something that I personally was struggling with in my own life. This woman shared a similar story, and her suggestions on how she handled it really helped me. And I was just so grateful that I was there that day to hear that message.
And that's the great thing about something like that in volunteering. It brings a sense of community, which a lot of people lose. I mean, we get in our own little worlds, especially when we live in a commuter town such as ours. It's easy to become lost in things. But when you volunteer, it gives you a chance to become part of the community, talk to people, learn things from them, learn from their experiences, and build it into your own life. And then, again, that's another benefit that you get from these things. It's just one of many. So, I mean, that's awesome. And, I mean, that's awesome that you spend so much time towards that as well. Because, I mean, you're running a business. I mean, most business owners know, like, their time is limited. So, I mean, it's great. But it's awesome that you do see the benefits that come out of it. So, I mean, you understand that your time is well spent there.
Absolutely. Yes. I definitely get rewarded in many hugs.
Hey, everyone. This is our first commercial break. We're new, so we'll just take this time to let you know more about what Dufferin Spotlight on Business is all about, which is a weekly show that features discussions from business leaders from around Dufferin County regarding their businesses and accomplishments. The achievements of small business owners largely go unnoticed, but it is our goal to recognize them, as these are the people who keep small communities like ours alive. In addition to this, we will highlight the advantages of shopping local, so be sure to check back each week to see the amazing things people are doing through their businesses. To learn more about what we do and other shows that we will be producing, be sure to check out dufferinspotlight.ca. Now, I hope you enjoy the rest of Dufferin Spotlight on Business. So, if you don't mind, what are your most popular products or services?
Okay, well, that's a pretty easy question to answer. We started off with social media management services. So that has always been our most popular service because it's the primary solution that we offer to our businesses, where our processes are so efficient now. It's really easy for us to do all of the onboarding, create and optimize new social media accounts, get the content created no matter what business, industry, or community they're in, and get them running successfully on a social media management campaign. So that's our number one still, and I think it always will be. Number two is website creation and website content management. So that's been the next biggest growth in our business. And I think it's just a natural evolution of when clients come to us for social media, most businesses have a website. And when they need a solution for that, then we developed one. So through the last 8 years, we've created budget-friendly website solutions and are very skilled in using WordPress to create websites and also to create solutions for clients so that they have the proper ownership and control of their own digital assets, including their domain and their email and their website. We try and make sure that that's all in one place.
Awesome.
We also offer search engine optimization, email marketing, press releases, that sort of thing. But the two things that we really focus on right now are social media and websites.
That's awesome. I'm going to start off with social media. Most businesses, when they start off, they wonder if they should invest in a website, right? So the thing they're going to do is create a Facebook page. Mm-hmm. But the thing with Facebook, you don't actually own anything on there. Mm-hmm. So eventually you should move to a website, but if not, if you really think you can just, I'm not saying this is the best strategy, but if you think you can manage your business through your social media accounts without a website, without actually owning all that stuff, it's great that you have that service to help them do that, because at that point, that is a huge part of their business. But when they're ready to upgrade to the website, it's super important that you do it properly. I mean, the cheapest ways are often the worst ways. Your domain name, your email hosting, if you get all those in separate places or all those in the same place, typically the same place, you might not own some of those things. It may be very hard to get those things moved out of there. I mean, I've heard horror stories, like it's terrible. And I mean, especially when you're a small business or a nonprofit or something like that, you can fall into those traps very easily because you're on a limited budget. And you think you found the solution because, like, well, they advertise it as, oh, it's so easy, so easy, so easy. You can do it in 10 minutes. But when you try to leave, it's going to take you a month maybe.
Yeah, honestly, it's a mistake that I've seen more often than I would care to admit, where small business owners, they think that they're doing the right thing at the time because it seems quick, cheap, and easy. But what happens is in the long run, you spend so much time and money trying to get everything reestablished properly. Yeah. It's 100% suggested that you do it right from the beginning. So if a new business is interested in launching, I highly suggest that you have a clear branding plan and marketing strategy from the beginning, and that you ensure that you carefully get the ownership of all of your digital assets. Even if you're not planning on building a website right away, perhaps funds are a challenge, then I suggest at least grab the domain for your business, because it's only like $10 at GoDaddy, and then you have your business name secured. Yes, a lot of business owners will do the Facebook route first. I don't suggest that. Yeah. Your website is your asset of your business that you own and control. Social media is so important. However, you are really only renting space.
Exactly.
And I have a lot of clients or people that I know that through whatever circumstances have lost a social media account, especially Instagram, which is one of the most unsecure social media platforms today, and one of the ones that most new businesses are using. And if you get hacked, or if you lose your username and password, getting that Instagram account back is detrimental. And there was a business owner I spoke with last week where she used nothing else but Instagram. She had all of her business contacts on there. All of the interactions she'd had with clients had been in the direct messaging, and she lost her account and she cannot get it back. She basically lost her entire business because it was all on Instagram. So
Wow.
highly suggest that you make sure you have your business digital assets secured. You have control over everything. You have the usernames and passwords for everything. And that even if you're not using a website in the beginning, at least get your domain name, because you want to make sure, okay, so now my business is called XYZ and I've got a Facebook page, it's called XYZ, and I've got an Instagram account called XYZ, and you go to register your domain and guess what? It's not available. Then you have to think about rebranding, which again, time, money. You just don't want to spend that.
Exactly. And if you found your name, you don't want to have to change that.
Yes.
Like a lot of people spend a lot of time into their name, maybe more than they should sometimes. But I mean, when you found it, you don't want to change it. And especially when you're a new business. If you change it, then you change it again, people are going to think something's up. You don't need to have that perception. You have enough challenges when you're just starting out.
Absolutely.
And rebranding yourself is not one of those things you want to do.
No, so think about investing in branding at the beginning of your business process, which by the way is our number 3 most popular and growing part of our business right now at Dufferin Media, is that I'm helping a lot of business owners with their logo and their visual brand, as well as the story behind their brand and the marketing plan that will meet their goals. So we sort of have moved into a place where using our experience and knowledge, we can help a business establish not only a clear visual brand, but also define what their goals are and how to meet them with a marketing strategy. Then the unique thing that Dufferin Media offers is we can implement that marketing strategy for them as well.
You have all these execution skills that you've built up over the years. Like, it's only natural that you move into the strategic, especially with all this experience that you have and having all this local knowledge as well. Like, especially since your family's like ingrained in Orangeville. So, I mean, it's great. That's a huge advantage that you would have over the competition as well. Because, I mean, a lot of people don't have that. I mean, they really don't. And I mean, to have the holistic view, again, starting off with strategy from the beginning and then moving into your social media strategy and then into your website and then SEO, all that other stuff, that's great. That's like basically one-stop shop. Like, that's great.
Yes.
That's awesome. And I mean,
Thank you.
Branding is super important. Like you said, you
Yes.
know that. I don't need to tell you.
I know. I love working on branding. It's really exciting for me.
It's the creative part, right? Like, I know there's creative aspects to everything that you do, but I mean, that really is creative, really strategic. I can see that why that would be a ton of fun. And
It is.
And it gets your brain moving too. Hi everyone, Josh here with another commercial break. So now that you know what the show is all about, let me tell you more about what our mission is with Dufferin Spotlight as a whole. We are looking to cover issues that do not get enough attention by the public in non-divisive ways, with the hope of increasing awareness and moving discussions forward. In addition to this, with our content, we also aim to support those affected or are trying to solve these issues. There are a lot of issues we'd like to cover, which means a lot of shows. We already have a new show slated for this year, this one completely unrelated to business, but still involves the people of Dufferin. We've got a lot on the go, so be sure to follow Dufferin Spotlight on Facebook to keep up with the latest news. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode of Dufferin Spotlight on Business. So we discussed some of the things there, but what do you think makes you different from the competition?
I would say that the full range of services that we offer allows a customer to feel completely taken care of for everything that their business needs online. And in addition to that, our culture and our values at Dufferin Media set us apart in that we truly care, and the community and giving back is super important to us. Taking care of our team, taking care of our community is really important to me. I believe that people that come to us, they can really trust us with whatever they need. And we recently implemented a new tagline called "We're on it." And we did that because truly internally, anytime that anything was happening with our clients and they asked for something, we always say, don't worry about that, we're on it. And then it sort of expanded so that we use that internally too with other team members. Somebody would ask for something or help with something. Yep, no problem, we're on it. So it expanded into that sort of theme. And so we created a tagline using that, hopefully conveying to the community and potential customers that are looking at Dufferin Media that they can trust us because we're on it. We've got this. We've got you.
That's awesome. Because I mean, it's hard for people to find people they can depend on. So that's great, especially for services like these where a lot of people don't know what they're doing. The tech aspects of a lot of businesses like website management, creation, and social media management intimidates a lot of people. That's why they don't do it. So, I mean, that's awesome because, I mean, that would bring a lot of comfort to some people, I think. And that's a great thing to position your branding for because trust is a big thing.
Yes. Trust, community, and giving back, I think, are really important values to us.
And speaking of giving back, I know there's another program that you guys do called the Adopt a Charity program, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So would you mind if we talk about that a bit more?
Not at all. So we came up with the Adopt a Charity campaign in 2018 to launch in 2019. And the concept behind that was because I already did work for the Orangeville Food Bank, I just wanted that to be separate. But we wanted to get back to another nonprofit organization. So we launched an Adopt a Charity campaign. And in December of 2018, we gathered the nominations from online form. And then we sat down just after Christmas, our whole team, and we put all of the nominations out, and we selected from all the nominations. Our team voted and picked the Neighborhood Information Post. It's a nonprofit organization down in Toronto that helps with a very impoverished neighborhood to offer a lot of different programs to those citizens of that neighborhood. So for that whole year, from January 2019 to December, we assisted them with all different areas of their social media and strategy and fundraising, just all kinds of different programs with that. So then we reran the campaign to start fresh for 2020. And in December, when we ran the campaign, we actually had over 50 nominations this time.
Wow.
From all over the world. So I had charities nominated in the UK, in the US, in Africa. So it was really interesting to go through them because not a lot of them were local. We did have some local ones.
Yeah.
So the goal was, again, to select one charity from everybody that was nominated to offer full service of digital marketing packages for 2020. So it was really fun. And again, we got together at our Christmas party. We had lunch together and we brought out all the nominations and everybody went through them and we voted and we selected the All Paws Rescue Agency out of the GTA, and they rescue and foster and rehome cats as well as other animals.
Cool.
I think everybody was looking for something that was maybe a little bit more warm and fuzzy with the cats this time. It's just much different from the poverty stuff that we were dealing with before.
Yeah.
And already out of that campaign, it was really exciting. The charity got featured on breakfast television.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So actually this young man named Will, he has an organization called Goodwill Karma. So if you have a chance, check that boy out on Facebook. And he raised funds for All Paws Rescue. And he was on breakfast television. And we were really thrilled to be able to help raise awareness of taking advantage of that opportunity. Because obviously being on breakfast television is a big opportunity from a PR point of view.
Yeah.
So that's where my PR manager, Christine Hahn, was able to jump right in last minute. I mean, I think we had 3 days notice. Wow. And we pushed out all kinds of social media hype that nonprofit was going to be featured on breakfast television.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was really exciting. So that's the kind of thing I live for, is just to be able to see those great stories get more awareness about this young guy who raised $500 for this charity, and it was picked up by the media. I mean, it's such a great story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I really enjoy. So next year, in 2021, we've already agreed that we would like to actually adopt 2 charities.
Wow.
So that's the goal, is to expand that program.
That's awesome. You're helping a lot of people. I mean, between what you're doing in your personal time and this, I mean, that's amazing. I know with a lot of these nonprofits and charities, one of the biggest problems is exposure, getting their name out there. I mean, even in our community, like we do have a great community that really does contribute and like help people out. It's amazing. But there are a lot of causes in our community that people do not really know about. Like there are tons.
I would agree with that, Josh. And as another note on that, Dufferin Media has always offered preferred rates to nonprofit organizations.
Well, that's awesome.
So if a nonprofit organization wanted assistance, then we usually will take whatever our package is and discount it for them so that we can help them grow their awareness.
Thank you. Because I mean, that is a big help for our community. Because I mean, like we were both talking about, like exposure is a huge problem for some of these guys. I mean, it's hard, especially like if you're spending your time trying to help everybody, you may not be dedicating the time to social media, which is understandable because you're trying to help people. That's your focus. And you may think, well, if I start getting attention, am I really doing it for myself or am I doing it for everyone else? Which is a ridiculous thing to think sometimes. And you need to realize, like, hey, when you're getting attention for yourself, it's because you're helping these people, which helps get the cause out there. So, I mean, it's great that you're providing these opportunities for people because, I mean, they might otherwise not have it.
Absolutely. And I think most nonprofit organizations, high on their list of goals would be to raise the awareness of their nonprofit organization, what they're doing, how they're helping people, and what type of help they might need too. So social media is a great tool to be able to use to check off all of those goals, is to work on all of those strategies. And raising awareness is probably the number one, but we've also used it successfully in fundraising and online fundraising and event coordination. We just finished the coldest night of the year event for the Orangeville Food Bank, and that was hugely successful. Not just because of the amazing volunteers and our community just comes together like you wouldn't believe. Orangeville's so great.
Yeah.
But also the awareness on social media and how active everybody was sharing that event and posting their pictures of that event. And team captains that were participating would share on their own social media. So it's such a powerful way to reach so many people quickly and affordably.
Yeah, it is. Because I remember seeing all this stuff on social media for coldest night of the year. It was awesome because there were so many people involved, and you're 100% right. Like the social media presence was amazing. Like, it was shared all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is great because you love seeing the community come together, and especially when it's to help people. That's the best it can be. We're lucky to have the food bank in our community. Like, I'm having the opportunity to learn more about it. I'm just amazed. The more I learn, it's just amazing to me. We're so lucky to have it in our community.
Yeah, and we're really lucky to have Heather Hayes leading that charge. And I have learned so much from her. She inspires me every day. And I can't even tell you the number of times that she's brought tears to my eyes with how passionate she is about helping people in the community. And she's helped so many people. She's
super smart. She seems like the perfect person to be running something like that, because given her background and just all of it, we're really lucky to have her running that, because she has pretty much all the qualities you could want in someone running something like that.
Yeah, she's great.
Hi everyone, this is Josh here with a third commercial break. So now that you know about the show and the overall mission of Dufferin Spotlight, you're probably asking yourself how we're going to pay for it all. We will provide advertising opportunities to interested parties, primarily local businesses, so they can reach people just like you. We prefer working with small local businesses, as that's what we are, and it stops us from getting too reliant on big corporations who already have enough influence over the media landscape. If you are an organization who is interested in working with Dufferin Spotlight to promote your products or services, please reach out to us through our website, dufferinspotlight.ca, so we can bring your community to you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode of Dufferin Spotlight on Business. So what do you think customers should look for when doing business with somebody in your profession?
So if somebody is looking to hire somebody to help manage any part of their digital marketing, I really feel like they should make sure that that person or company has been doing what they've been doing for a while.
Yeah.
That they have experience and that they have some examples of customers' work that they can show you, and potentially even some references to call just to make sure that they are knowledgeable in what they do. There's a lot of people that I think look at social media and say, oh, I'll just get an intern for that, or I'm going to get somebody straight out of college, or maybe I'll just get my friend's nephew who's in grade 12 to look after my Facebook page for me. And I feel like there's going to be expensive consequences for treating your social media like that. So really just be cautious when you're entering into the decision of who you want to pay to manage your social media or your website or any part of your digital marketing. These are really important parts of your business. You need to be able to trust the person that you're handing that over to with, and don't cheap out on it. I see a lot of ads where people are looking for an intern or a college student to look after their social media. And I really feel like that's not a great decision.
No.
And that's not to encourage them necessarily to come do business with Dufferin Media, though I'd be pleased to have any new clients come in the door that are looking forward to working with us. It's just to caution them, because through my experience of bringing customers in that have tried that before, I always hear the same thing. And a lot of times it'll be that we have to fix things that somebody else has potentially broken, like a website, or they don't know where their domain is, so the list goes on. So just be careful. If you're looking to hire someone in social media management, make sure that they're trustworthy, that they're experienced, that they can show you some examples of their work.
Yeah.
And, that they've been doing this for a little while. The other important qualities would be somebody that is open-minded.
Yep.
And that listens well to what you're saying about what you want for your business. And somebody that's teachable too, because it's really important to have an open mind and be teachable in the social media and digital marketing world, because things change every day. And I'm not kidding.
Yep.
Twitter just came out with an announcement that they're going to be adding stories to their platform.
Oh, great.
So as a digital marketing manager and a social media manager, we constantly have to be changing and upgrading our knowledge and being able to work quickly on the fly to make sure that our customers are taken care of. So being that type of individual is really important.
100%. I mean, their algorithms change. They add new features.
Yep.
I mean, Twitter's going to be going through all kinds of changes. I mean, they have activist investors looking at them right now. So, I mean, there's going to be Twitter's known for not really changing much over the last while as far as product features go. I mean, they add new rules and things like that. But, I mean, it's going to be going through some massive changes. And, I mean, do you really want to figure out all that stuff on top of running your business?
Yeah.
No, you don't. On top of whatever else is going to be going. Because, I mean, I don't expect everyone to know this, but I mean, there's a lot of changes going on with these companies. The governments all over the world are looking at these guys right now, and there are so many rules. There's going to be a lot of changes, and you don't want to have to deal with all of that. Like, you really don't, on top of the regular problems that come with social media, on top of your business already. Like, it really, there's a lot going on. So you want someone that actually knows what they're talking about and knows what's going on.
And somebody that's paying attention to the trends and the news and upgrading. I do weekly learning sessions with my team as part of our team meetings as well.
Awesome.
So we have a new software that we're just testing out this month for analytics. So on Monday, we're going to be looking at that as a team. So we're constantly individually learning, and as a team, we're learning to make sure that we're implementing new strategies and software and solutions for us and our clients to make everything more efficient going forward.
That's good. I want to go back to the point, I think, when you've mentioned how people should kind of talk to you maybe before they start doing their things. If there's any tradespeople or a lot of people in different businesses knows, like, okay, if you get someone that's not doing such a great job, then you have to pay someone else to come in and fix it all later. Lots of people in business know all that story. It's not great, so it's better to do it right the first time and get the right person for it. And I'd also like to mention, which is part of the focus of our show, is you should get someone local. I think for a smaller business, for a small local business where your clients are primarily local, you should get someone that knows the area. They can take advantage of special events, just what's going on in town. They know certain things maybe to avoid. They just know what's going on. So it's better to have someone that's in the know than someone that maybe that's halfway across the world that doesn't know our community. Again, someone like yourself that's been in the community for a long time and whose family's been here as well, you understand what this place is all about, and you understand how to take advantage of that for the benefit of the businesses.
So we usually have our ear to the ground here in Dufferin County in terms of events and community sponsorships and things that are happening in Dufferin County. And we help our clients maximize that. So you're right. It's great to try and work with somebody local if that matches your goals.
Yeah.
For sure.
Again, like if you're a small local business with primarily local customers, it's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always exceptions, but I mean, if that's the case, I can't see why you wouldn't. Oh.
Can I just add to that too, though, Josh, that our business has expanded to quite a few companies that we service that are not in the Dufferin County area. And in that case, we are able to effectively do the research on our own or with the help of the business owner in terms of what community events might be happening in that area. So for example, if we were working with a client in Ottawa, which we have a couple, in Ottawa, we maintain communication with them on a regular basis on what they're doing in their community. And as part of our research, we have Google Alerts set up. We keep an eye on what's happening in the community of Ottawa to do our best to make sure that we're sharing that on their behalf. So we can definitely migrate our services anywhere in the world that's English speaking. That's the only limitation on our service. So I do have clients all over North America.
Awesome. I mean, and that goes to show the other things you mentioned that people should look for is references, previous works, things like that. Hi, everyone. This is our last commercial break. Thank you all for listening so far, and I hope you've enjoyed it. To keep up with everything that Dufferin Spotlight is doing, you should follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can find other episodes of Dufferin Spotlight on Business by looking us up on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, in addition to our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Of course, the best way to see all of our stuff is to check out our website, dufferinspotlight.ca. If we are not already on your preferred platform, let us know through our website and we'll do our best to get on it. That's it for commercials, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Dufferin Spotlight on Business. So are you currently hiring?
We are currently in the process of hiring for 2 positions, though I kind of think they're filled. So
awesome.
Don't everybody send me resumes. we had an opening for a social media manager and for a sales manager. So
Awesome.
I believe that I have the right candidates in place for those. So at the moment, I would say we're not officially hiring, because even from that last outreach, I have a number of really great candidates that sent us resumes that we're going to sort of keep on file.
That's good. So if you don't mind me asking, do you primarily hire local?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's great. I mean, we always need more local opportunities, especially if you're getting into something like marketing and
Yes.
sales. I know just from my personal experience, you're kind of pushed to move out of the area. And that's not great, especially if you don't want to live in the city. Not everyone wants to live in the city. They grew up here. They like it here. I mean, I didn't realize I liked it here till it was kind of late. But once you learn it, you're like, you don't want to leave. And you don't want to do that commute, that hour and a half, 2 hour commute each way. It's not a fun time. I mean,
No.
you have time to listen to podcasts, but that's the only
about it.
benefit.
Yeah. So our team is all local to Dufferin County. Most of the team works remote most of the time.
That's great.
So once a week, we generally meet and have a team meeting face to face. And as everybody will tell you, we always love to have something sweet. So normally we have cake or it's somebody's birthday. And that's how we sort of keep connected.
That's awesome. So, I mean, remote work is also good because, I mean, even if your community isn't huge, it's still a lot more convenient. It allows you to get things done. You can kind of work around the schedule as you need to, but also the face-to-face meetings. I mean, the people that actually work from home all the time and don't have the opportunity to go and meet with their coworkers, it's not fun a lot of the time. You fall into some bad habits too. You may not be as productive as you want, but also you feel less involved with the company. But if you get to go in, meet everyone, have a fun time, talk with everyone, that's a lot better. It makes you feel more involved in the company, and you feel like you actually still want to work there versus
Yeah.
you're just waiting for the next thing that pays you more.
Yeah, no, I love my team. They're great. And we keep connected every day on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, that's great.
So a lot of the times, if there's a client issue that's come up that needs to be dealt with right away, we put it in the Facebook Messenger so it can be resolved right away. And
That's
then
good.
other times we're just kind of chatting and sharing funny jokes.
Good.
So we have a really good team rapport here.
That's good that you're in constant contact too then. And especially not just the serious stuff too, because I mean, we all know whether it's a benefit or not, but one of the parts of it being at a workplace is that you have the opportunity to joke around and build rapport, like you said, with your coworkers. And if you're isolated at your home, you usually don't have that. But again, if you're contacting them, especially in an informal environment as like kind of Facebook Messenger, it's a lot better versus, going back and forth on email all the time, which is a little less.
We have a very positive atmosphere, I believe.
That's good. That's good. I mean, everyone I've met so far has been super friendly. So, I mean, that's great. So do you have any plans for expansion then?
Yes, I do. I have a growth strategy to take me through the next 5 years.
Wow.
And
Nice.
I plan on expanding into much more of the branding pieces.
Awesome. Good.
And I really enjoyed doing the workshops. So I think adding another educational piece to Dufferin Media is going to be a natural evolution. But just expanding our team and how many clients we're able to bring on is part of our growth plan. So we're already expanding now into that growth plan. And that's why we had been in the position to hire another social media manager and to hire a sales manager. Because right now I've been doing most of the sales myself and it's just become a lot. So yeah, we definitely plan on expanding and I'm looking forward to great things in the future.
100%. Having someone that does handle sales allows you to focus on the things that you got in this business for. I imagine you didn't get into this for sales. You got into this to do the branding stuff, the social media stuff, to actually help people. I'm not saying sales doesn't help because, I mean, you help find people the right solution to their problems, which is great. But, I mean, that's not why you got into this, I imagine.
Well, actually, we kind of did get into the business to help business owners
For
with that solution. But yeah, me personally, what I like spending my time on is working on the business.
Yeah.
And I'm the visionary for the business. So I see and I have the dream for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Being able to do things like this podcast. I'm currently writing a book.
Awesome.
That'll be coming out this spring. Just doing those types of things where it's elevating the business message is where I think my time is best spent.
100%, yeah. And that's probably the more enjoyable stuff.
And I like leading the team and I like teaching the workshops, and I've been asked now to host some webinars and do some online speaking engagements.
That's great.
Yeah, so just those types of things I think is probably where my time's best spent, where I think a sales manager would be better suited to take care of those tasks for
100%.
me.
Because, I mean, relationship management's a big thing too, which I think sometimes goes along with sales.
Yes.
So...
I only have so many hours in the day, Josh. Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Awesome. So what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is email.
Okay.
sarah@dufferinmedia.ca or through any of the social media channels, but absolutely. I'm constantly checking my email, and that's the best way to reach me. So please, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out either on my social media channels or via email.
Awesome. And keep an eye out for the book.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Awesome.
I know. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And everyone, please check out Dufferin Media and check out their Facebook pages and Instagram pages.
Dufferin Media is actually on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Google My Business. So you can connect with us on any of those platforms.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. That's it for this episode of Dufferin Spotlight on Business, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Sarah for taking the time to help us out with our show, and we look forward to all the great work that Dufferin Media and Dufferin Spotlight will do together. And of course, thank you all for listening. To contact Dufferin Media, reach out through their website, dufferinmedia.com, and like them on Facebook. If you would like to learn more about the people and businesses who make Dufferin what it is, be sure to check back every Tuesday for new episodes. The easiest way to do this is to follow us or subscribe to our show wherever you prefer to listen. We are currently available on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, in addition to Facebook and YouTube. Of course, you can find all of our episodes and more on our website, dufferinspotlight.ca. If there's anywhere else you'd like to see us, please let us know through our website, and we'll do our best to get on it. If you haven't seen it yet, our last episode was with Ian Payne and Vicky Reynolds, the owners of Not So Hollow Farm, which is an indigenous plant nursery located in Mulmer, Ontario. Not So Hollow Farm has a wide selection of native trees, bushes, and perennials that are ethically grown so that the environment will actually benefit from within your garden. They even have edible plants too. You can browse their selection and order from their website at notsohollowfarm.ca, and be sure to check them out on Facebook too. Again, thank you all for listening, and until next time, get to know your community and shop local.